Hey everyone, it's Jananie and welcome back to my channel, This Story Ain't Over. So today I'm coming to you with a bit of a reaction video. So I don't think I've ever done like a reacting to my old videos type of thing video before. So today I'm going to be reacting to all of my TBR videos from 2020 and I'm going to record which books I've actually read from those TBRs and which books I have not. And we're going to consolidate a final kind of books I need to read at the beginning of next year so that I can kind of follow through on all of these books I said I would read. This should be interesting and funny and a little weird, so let's just get started. So on one side over here, and I don't know if you can see it, but I've laid out on Notion all the videos that I have, and I'm going to type in which books I've read and which ones I haven't, and then on the left side I'm going to actually watch the videos. So let's go right in. Hopefully this isn't ridiculously horrifying to watch. So we're starting with my January TBR, an ambitious January TBR, and I honestly can't even stand to look at myself, but it's fine. Ain't over and welcome to a new year. I am so excited about 2020 and I am starting it off with my ambitious January TBR. I honestly can't stand the way I talk in my videos sometimes. I mean, you guys are used to it, but me, not so much. Okay, so let's jump to actually talking about some of different books over here. Okay, oh, Circe is one I definitely have not read. I had been meaning to read it for so long and never got around to it. Oh, Infinity Sun. Okay, this is one that I started and wasn't really enjoying, so I kind of DNF'd it and I don't really want to pick it up. So I'm gonna add another section here of books I don't want to read anymore. So I have one section, books I actually ended up reading, books I still need to read, and books I don't want to read anymore. Oh, Tiger at Midnight. I did finish that. Okay, I have a point in each category at the moment, which is exciting. Oh, Crier's War. I did finish reading that as well. I'm enjoying it, so I'm hoping to finish it up. It involves a queer, slow burn romance between two. Wow, we're like excited about. Oh, Kingdom of Souls. Okay, I'm still currently reading this book. I started it at the beginning of this year and got like halfway through and I still have yet to finish it. So yeah, I think I mentioned it in all the books I'm currently reading video, but it is on the list. Okay, 1,000 Beginnings and Endings. This I started in 2018 or meant to read in 2018 and never got around to it. So that's also one that I need to read. I think I'm really bad with anthologies. This also happened with A Phoenix First Must Burn, which also shows up in this video or a later one. But yeah, I always start them and then I don't have the motivation to continue like reading the rest of the stories. Like I might like one, but I think I'm just used to having like a longer narrative to deal with. Oh, and there we go. Phoenix First Must Burn, also another one on this list. So we're at 2 I actually read, 4 I still need to read, 1 I don't want to read anymore, and that's all of it. Okay, that's everything for January. I remember this one was a sponsored video for Don't Read the Comments, which I actually finished and really enjoyed. Oh yes, this is also Black History Month. Okay, Stamped I have not yet read. Oh, Summer Only We Know. I did finish that and I enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy it as much as I was hoping to though. There's Something About Sweetie. I finished that one. Woohoo! I'm not doing too bad. Obviously this is gonna get worse as the year goes on, but oh, Always Never Yours. I did not end up picking that one up. Mainly because I feel like I was reading reviews on it and it said it was kind of slow. So I was kind of hesitant to pick it up because I wanted something like quick and fun, but I will pick it up now, hopefully. I think probably next summer though, because I'm never in the mood for YA contemporaries in the winter for some reason. I'm always more in the mood for like historical or fantasy or that kind of thing. Oh yes, that was the cool thing about Always Never Yours. I was so intrigued by it just because it was co-written by 2 people who were engaged, which I thought was just so cool and interesting, and the fact that they both love YA enough to write a YA book together was just hilariously cute. Okay, Guinevere Deception. I have not read that and I really do want to read it. And it's appeared on quite a few TBRs. But yeah, Guinevere Deception, I think I put it on my November TBR as well, maybe not, but I do really want to read it soon. Okay, so that was February, so I'm currently at 5 books that I actually ended up reading, 7 books that I still need to read, and still 1 that I don't want to read anymore. On to April. So I didn't actually do a TBR video for March, it looks like, which is kind of common for me. I don't usually do one every single month because, once again, I like don't read as quickly as a lot of people, and I find that my TBRs end up like going longer for like multiple months. This is April. A quick little April TBR. So this is a quick little April TBR. It's only 7 minutes, which is interesting. Oh, okay. If I Had Your Face, I did read that. This was at the height of when quarantine began, so I actually finished this one, but it took me a while to finish If I Had Your Face. I do remember that. Oh, okay. Shadows Between Us. I did mention this in my unhaul video. I did not enjoy this book at all. I totally DNF'd it. I think I got like halfway through and was not feeling it. So that one goes under books I don't want to read anymore. Oh, Such a Fun Age. I read this for a work book club and absolutely loved it. So I did end up reading that one. And honestly, it was such a good book. Highly recommend if you're gonna pick up any book this year, pick up that one. Okay, Midnight Lie. I mentioned this in my November TBR, I think, but yeah, I never ended up picking it up earlier in the year when it actually came out. So I really want to pick it up before the end of the year. Okay, Of Curses and Kisses. I finished this one, but it took me so long and I was so close to DNFing it at some point because I just wasn't enjoying it as much as I wanted to, and it definitely wasn't the book that I thought it was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be a lot more like dark and angsty and like creepy, but it ended up being really like more on the contemporary side. I think I wanted more fantasy, which was not as fun as I thought it would be. So that goes under books I actually finished reading though, so that's good. Okay, I'm like pretty 1 for 1 right now, which is exciting at the end of April. Okay, so I'm at 8 books that I actually ended up reading and 8 books for ones that I still need to read. So I'm tied right now and I have 2 under books I don't want to read anymore. Okay, May TBR. I feel like this one was a small one. Okay, so this one included Asian Readathon, but I didn't end up finishing. Okay, so the first one in here is Chain of Gold, which I actually ended up finishing, which is exciting. It also took me quite a long time to finish that one, but I finished it. So here we are. Oh, next ones are the Arsha books, which I still haven't gotten around to continuing, but I have requested them from the library, so hopefully my audiobooks come in soon so that I can pick those up. But there's 2 on there, so I'm gonna add both under books I still need to read. Oh, okay. The next one is this graphic novel that I have that I bought a while ago. It's called Sita's Ramayana, and I've been meaning to pick it up for so long, and I just don't know why I haven't. I think it's every time I'm like, oh, I can like quickly read this, I'm like, oh, but maybe I should just spend that time on finishing a different book. So that is another one. Next, we have Blossom and the Firefly and I'll Be the One. I'll Be the One I did finish and it was so good. I loved it so much. It was one of my favorite contemporaries of the year, so highly recommend. And then Blossom and the Firefly I still have not read. It is a historical fiction and I think I'll really like it. It is a love story, but yeah, it's because it's historical, I feel like I have been putting it off, but I'm in the historical mood now, so maybe I will pick it up very soon. Wicked Fox. I still need to read this, but I did get the audiobook from the library recently, so I think I can read it very soon. But yeah, this is one that I started a while ago and I couldn't really get into it, so I stopped reading, but I do want to like actually read it and finish it. I've heard mixed things about it though, so I know some people who really loved it and I know other people who didn't really enjoy it, so we'll see which camp I'm in. Oh, all right, the next one here is The Memory Police, which is a translated fiction, and I picked this up because of Liv from Stories for Coffee, and I love her channel, and she has such great recs, and this is an adult book that I've been meaning to pick up, but I feel like I buy them all and then I never end up reading them, so I really want to read this one soon. Wow, this video literally is knocking my books I still need to read list out of the park, and now I know I'm gonna lose this. Okay, Written in the Stars, another one I have not read yet. I kind of don't feel like I'll be in the mood for it anytime soon, just because I haven't recently been feeling like reading any kind of heavy YA contemporaries, and this one is definitely on the heavier side, but we'll see. Ooh, Parachutes. I did finish this one and it was honestly one of my favorite books of the year. It was so well done. It was such a good book and I highly recommend. It has a really strong like Me Too element, and I loved the main characters as well because it's kind of multiple main characters, and I just really enjoyed that aspect of it. It's also super underrated. Like, I don't know many people who have read it, so please go pick up that book. Oh, okay, next one is Love Boat Taipei, which I think I had on multiple TBRs and I never got around to reading, so another one I really need to read. I have heard mixed things about it though, so I think that's why I haven't yet picked it up, because I'm not sure if I'll actually enjoy it. Ooh, Almost American Girl, another graphic novel that I have yet to pick up, but I do still want to read it, so I think Add it to this list. The next one is Girls of Storm and Shadow, which is the sequel to Girls of Paper and Fire. I loved that first book, but I've heard so many people say that the second one wasn't as good, and so I think that's why I put off reading it. But I do want to finish off the series. I know there's going to be a third one probably, but I do want to continue with the series and see where it's going. So I'm gonna add this to this list. Oh, okay, I realized that now I'm like just recommending books at the end of this video. So at the end of this May TBR, I have 11 books in the books I actually ended up reading, 18 under ones I still need to read, and still 2 under ones I don't want to read anymore. On to June. So I get into like my current reads and like TBR into like the later half of this video. So I said I was currently reading Archer at Dawn and Clap When You Land, both of which I finished. So I'm gonna add them to books I ended up reading. I loved Clap When You Land. It lived up to all of Elizabeth Acevedo's previous books. She just does an amazing job. I did take quite a while to finish reading that one though, but I still really enjoyed it. And then The Archer at Dawn I only recently finished, and I did not like it as much as I was hoping to. Okay, Slay. This one is one that I picked up shortly after this video, and I absolutely loved it. It was so good. It's one of my favorite reads of this year. Highly recommend. Oh, okay, next is Grown, which I also read and absolutely loved, and I went on a Tiffany D. Jackson binge after this, and it was so good. Black Girl Unlimited I still have yet to finish. I started it on the audiobook, and then I think I had to give the audiobook back to the library, or it was like unavailable on Scribd, so I haven't finished it yet, but I'm waiting for my hold to come back, and then I will finish on an audiobook because I think the audiobook was really nice and I don't really want to physically read it. Okay, that's all the books for that video. We are on to July. So one of the books that I had planned out to read was An Ember in the Ashes, which was a reread for a Penguin Teen sponsored video that I did for their Ember read along, and I did actually finish that reread, so I'm gonna add it here. Okay, so this video was my Read-A-thon host announcement, and then some books that I want to read in July, and also my Reading Rush TBR. So I know from that TBR I didn't finish any of those books, I think. Okay, Take a Hint, Dani Brown, I did end up finishing, and I don't actually think Take a Hint was for the Reading Rush. I think it was just a general book I wanted to read in July. And I also put An Archer at Dawn again on this TBR, but I finished it before I'm filming this video, so that's good. Oh, Henna Wars, I did finish that, which was really good. It wasn't my favorite book, but I just really loved the representation in it, which made it just so valuable to me. Okay, and then for the rest of my Reading Rush TBR, so The Blossom and the Firefly I already mentioned in the May TBR. I did not read The Palace of Illusions, and I really do want to pick that up, so I'll add that. The Night Tiger is also one that I wanted to read, still haven't read, and The God of Small Things. And I know a bunch of you keep asking me if I've read The God of Small Things yet, and I haven't. I promise I will read it soon, hopefully very, very soon. Okay, so those are all of the books for this TBR, I think. Let me just double check. Oh, I also said I wanted to read Little Women, but I'm kind of not feeling like reading that anymore. Like, I don't think I'm gonna read it anytime soon. So I'm gonna leave that off to books I don't want to read anymore or soon. But those are all of the books for that video. So at the end of July, I'm at 18 books I ended up actually reading. 22 I haven't read yet. On to August. This is the second last video that I'm gonna react to. I'm not gonna react to my November TBR because I just did it, and it's still November when I'm filming this, so I'm gonna give myself a little bit more time. So this August TBR includes my Read-A-thon TBR, and a bunch of those books I did not finish, so this is gonna be interesting. Okay, so I gave some recommendations. Okay, so one of the books here that I need to read, still need to read, is Policing Black Lives. This is a non-fiction, and it ended up being a lot drier than I was expecting it to be, but I still want to finish it, and I think it's just one that I need to like read slowly, so it's still kind of like sitting on my TBR to like pick up every now and then. But one of the things I did notice about it was that it covered a lot of things that I had actually already learned in some courses that I took in university, so I feel like in some ways it's been a little bit redundant, but I still want to kind of finish it. Okay, next on here is Hunted by the Sky, and I am halfway through that, and I was really enjoying it, but somehow I just stopped reading, and I like can't bring up the motivation to continue reading it, but I do want to finish it. So it's still on my like still need to read list. and it's one of those books that I'm like really in the middle of, that I'm determined to finish before the end of the year. Like I don't want to drag it over into 2021. But I will say, yeah, me stopping reading that has nothing to do with the quality of the book. It's just me kind of moving on to like other books and then not feeling like returning to this one. Okay, next one is The Boat People, which I also started, which was also really good, and I just haven't gotten around to finishing. And I do want to finish it soon. Marrow Thieves I actually finished, which is exciting, and I think that's the only book I finished during that readathon. But it was really good. Oh yeah, and then so you want to talk about race. I still haven't picked that up yet, but I really do want to. And then I think the last book on here is 10 Things I Hate About Pinky, which I got when it released and I still haven't read it yet, but I love Sandhya Menon books, as you guys know. So I do want to pick that up very soon, and I feel like the main character is quite similar to me, so I'm excited about that. Whew. Okay, so at the end of August, I am at 27 books I still need to read, and 19 books that I did read. So I'm like 8 off, which isn't as bad as I was thinking this was gonna be, but let's see how I am after this fall TBR video. And actually we're still kind of in the middle of the fall, so I feel like this one might be taking a point against me, but we'll see. Because this one has a lot of books on it. It's kind of all the books that I want to read throughout like a few months in the fall. Okay, Conjuring of Light I am still currently reading right now, and I actually just got the audiobook from the library, so I'm actually gonna like finish it very soon. Oh, My Plain Jane, I actually finished that one, which is exciting. The Beautiful, I did finish that one as well. I did not like that one as much as I was hoping to, which was kind of disappointing. I'm also realizing here that there's a bunch of books that I finished this year that I did not put on a TBR, and I feel like I am losing points here because I just didn't put those books on my TBR. Like I just keep picking up books that weren't on my TBR, and here we are now. Ooh, Cold Squirrel and Cold Town. I actually finished that one and I really enjoyed it, so that's great. Okay, Dark Days Club I still haven't read, and I don't think I'm gonna pick it up anytime soon because it just seems really dense, but we'll see. Okay, Dark Fever. Okay guys, so I started this like last week I think, and I am not feeling it at all because the book is like really steeped in the time that it was written, and I think it's like early 2000s or like pre-2010 kind of, so pre the iPhone. I think it just feels really old and I just can't deal. And like the main character like talks about how like, oh, she, you know, can't stand people who are always on their phones, but this is like pre like even iPhone era, so I'm just like, what is going on? Yeah, so I think it's gonna take a lot more to get me into that book, so I'm gonna leave it on. I don't want to read any more or anytime soon because yeah, I just didn't have the greatest impression of it, and it also, I just don't really like the writing style as much as I was hoping to, so yeah, kind of disappointed by that one. Ooh, Legendborn, I did finish this and it was so freaking good. One of my favorite books of the year. Oh, Silvered Serpents, I actually finished this one. Oh my god, yay, I'm doing not bad. I think I'm catching up. And I loved it. It was so good. It's the sequel to The Gilded Wolves. Love The Gilded Wolves, but I love this one even more. Ooh, okay, Blood and Honey I have not read yet, but I do want to read very soon. Hopefully before the end of the year, but maybe like January. Ooh, okay, Iron Heart I still haven't read, which is the sequel to Crier's War. So I do want to pick it up soon, but I don't think it's going to be before the end of this year. Oh, okay, Court of Lions. This is the sequel to Mirage by Samaya Dowd, and I loved that book. It was like a really weird kind of sleeper hit for me, and like not many people have read it, I feel like, but I really enjoyed it. It's not like my favorite book, but it was really quite good. So I am curious to see where it goes in the second one. And that's all of the books. Oh my god, I got through all of them and the results aren't too bad. I'm actually quite proud of myself. So, final count over here. After going through 8 TBR videos that I did in 2020, minus my November TBR video, which was very recent, I have read 24 of the books that I talked about in those videos, which is honestly pretty good because I've read less than 50 books this year so far. So that's like almost half of the books that I read this month. I put it on a TBR and I actually read them. And then out of those videos, the books that I still need to read, I still have 32 books, which is like an 8-book difference between the two, which isn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. I honestly thought that this was gonna be like 50 books I haven't read and like 10 I actually read, but I did better than I thought. So of these ones that I haven't read though, I do feel like a bunch of them are ones that like I just wasn't in the mood for, so that's why I didn't pick them up. And I think out of the ones here, I will at most pick up maybe 5 more before the end of the year, just because there's so little time, and I also have a bunch of books on my November TBR that I want to finish. But I still think this was like very eye-opening for me, and also kind of will help me plan my TBRs a little bit better for 2021, because one of my goals is to kind of like stick to my TBRs a little bit better and actually plan them better so that I actually want to read those books during that month, which I feel like is something that I'm very bad at. Hence why I don't do a TBR every month, because I like do one and then I end up realizing that I don't really want to read those books on that TBR, and so I pick up other books. So I think I just need to get a better sense of like what I'm feeling at the time during each month. And then I also have 4 books under books I don't want to read anymore. So that's Infinity Sun, The Shadows Between Us, and then Little Woman and Dark Fever. The first 2 I DNF'd. Little Woman I do want to pick up eventually, but just not anytime soon. And Dark Fever, I might go back to it, but I am just not feeling that writing right now. But yeah, that's basically all I have for this video, reacting to my TBRs from 2020. I hope this was entertaining in some way and not completely boring. It was mainly just me skimming through videos and like writing stuff down, but I think it was kind of interesting, and I feel like I learned a lot, and I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you kind of got like a sense of what I read this year and what I'm hoping to still eventually read. But I would love to hear from you guys which books you want me to read next from the list of books that I haven't read yet, and also let me know from the books that I have read, you know, which ones you loved, which ones you didn't. I just love to hear all of your thoughts. And also let me know if you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up so I know you kind of like this type of video, and let me know if you'd like me to react to any of my other videos from the past. So if you want me to do like, you know, the first videos I ever posted, or reacting to my book hauls, or I don't know, doing some sort of reacting video, let me know. I would love to do more things that you guys would love to see. But yeah, I will see you in my next video. So thank you so much for watching, and please remember that the story ain't over. Bye.